So for me, poetry is the language. That's how I started my life, and I don't understand any other language. Institutional language doesn't make any sense to me. It rather creates more chaos. Many times in life, I felt completely muted and silenced because of the hegemony and the hierarchy of the languages. I was quite confident about the way I speak and communicate with others. And then the migration happened. I moved to Delhi. In a very strange way, or maybe very obvious way, English was always on the top. If you are not good enough, smart enough, sophisticated enough, and fancy enough with this language, you are actually eliminated from that pyramid. You fall down. So I switched into more my visual art practices. Almost 10 years I went into silence. So there was a void, a blankness. I actually I lose my confidence. But some way I was desperate to communicate. So I just started speaking in those languages which I called non-language, which is actually unlanguaging. It is no language. It's not to create another language. It is not to remember, not to repeat, or not to rehearse. And when I speak in this language in a crowd, or even with some one person or two person, I personally feel extremely empowered.
Hush,
I want to create and manipulate the chronology of my practice, so people will not say like when she was in her 20s she make that, and this is the journey of her, I don't need it, like my whole lifespan, and even like from the last life to the next life, if we can expand that time limit in some conceptual way, I think that gives you so much of relaxation and freedom. Also, don't give the market an easy access of putting you in a historical sequence. I know that these are all very important, but I even think that what if I can abstract the whole idea of time? I'll be really happy if it is considered as from a non-gendered perspective, but I think it's also very important to be identified as a gendered person, because it has a need for the current and contemporary politics of the world. But maybe in 50 or 100 years I will be fine considered as a female voice, even as a feminist. I am born with this, the legacy of the female struggle, the feminist struggle. So it is in my gene. For me, feminism has it is extremely individual, but not individualistic. So it constantly requires a redefinition. I mean, I'm very proud as a woman, and I'm very confident about that identity. And many times it's for me a carnival to celebrate that femalehood. I am fine, but I don't also want to be typically categorized as a female artist, or my art to be considered only as a female art, because within this question there is a patriarchy and I don't subscribe that format. So I feel this is what I can say.